job from the field. Do keep in mind we're using an emulator today, so it's not going to do things like actually scan an item in or pull up my real camera, but for all intents and purposes, it's going to look the same. If we were working in offline mode, there's going to be a notice in red down here below that's going to let us know that we're offline. They're going to be able to work as normal. It's just that that data is going to upload when they get back to a connectivity area. I'm going to start just going bottom to top here and go through all the different features. Jobs is going to be the most important, so we'll end with that one. So if I hit timesheet here, they do have the ability to punch in and out. This, again, is not going to associate to any specific job or any customer necessarily. It's just going to let you know that Jen worked today from 12:29 p.m. until the time that I punch out. So this is often used just for payroll time if employees are just clocking in and out. So you may or may not use this, but it is there if it makes sense for your process. Our search function here, we can search things like materials, equipment, vehicles, customers, employees. This is really just our way of enabling the people that are out in the field the same information that they would get if they had access to the back office. So instead of having to call back to dispatch for information, they're able to do it right from the mobile device. Example of that might be if they're working a job and they see that Ben from AgileField worked it last, maybe they need his information, so I can do an employee search, click in here and get his information to click to email or click to dial pretty simply here. So again, just trying to make sure the people in the field are enabled to do any of these searches without having to learn a different interface or trade calls with other employees. Warehouse here, this is most often used for like a warehouse manager or maybe a supervisor who's going to have access to warehouses. So this is a feature that we can turn on or off based on permissions, as are most of these other ones that we'll look at, but just keep that in mind. When I click on warehouse here, it's going to show the warehouses that I have access to. So I have access to this Phoenix warehouse. If I click in here, it's going to give me some basic information, and it's going to show me the entire inventory that I've got for this warehouse. I can filter search here, and it's going to allow me to open search any of these fields to easily find what I'm looking for. But the easiest way is going to be the scan search here. So if I hit that button, it would pop up my camera, and I can quickly scan items to find that record or scan them into the inventory from this scan here as well. But just to give you an idea, we're going to see a bunch of different bulk materials, and then anything with a barcode here is going to indicate that it has serialized pieces of inventory. So if I click in here to view more details, it's going to be the basic information, but I can also click to view details, and it's going to show me all the different serial numbers that I have. Again, the easiest way to do this is just with the scan feature, so they can just walk up and scan a specific item this way. But if we're using it manually here, I can swipe in as well and see the different statuses. So we'll see that this one is new, received in the warehouse, but maybe I notice it's damaged. I can go ahead and change that to damaged, and it'll update that record. I can also receive new items, so I can just go ahead and scan them in or key them in manually with this button, and I can assign them out to a vehicle from here as well. If I go to vehicles here, it's going to show me any vehicles that are assigned to me. So today I have this GMC 1500, and it's going to be pretty much the same view as the warehouse here, except it's going to be what my truck stock is. So again, I can do a filter search, and I can also scan from this view as well. So again, we'll go down to some of these items here. As an example, if I look at one that's serialized, it's going to give me basic information. It'll also show me any serialized materials of this kind that I have in my vehicle. And I can also add. So based on permissions, I can go ahead and scan in a serialized item that might be on site at a customer location. I can scan something out of a warehouse or even out of other people's vehicles, again, depending on my permissions there. I click on jobs here. This, of course, is going to be the most important piece. So we're going to get quite a bit of information. Again, keep in mind if you're not using certain fields, they won't show up. If we don't want certain buttons to show, they don't need to show. So here we can have it set to show a number of days in advance. I have it showing jobs just for today, but if your company needs people to be able to see 2 or 7 or 14 days in advance, they'll just get a larger list here of the different jobs that they have. There's a search function here, so they can always narrow that down if necessary. And then create new job will enable people to create new jobs straight from the field, either assign it to themselves, have it go to the back office to be scheduled, or assign it to another user. So if you're a company where you work, maybe late or overnight, or you have supervisors who need to create new jobs for people on their team, this is something that you might want to utilize for those personas here. Again, we'll see some basic information about the different jobs that I've got here, but I'm going to go ahead and click into this one for AgileField. You'll see that this alert is popping up because I'm working a job for AgileField, so it's letting me know that the gate code is pound 4040, and I can always come back here to view those alerts as well. But we'll have basic information about the job up top here, so it'll tell me what type of work I'm doing, if there's equipment on it, any notes that came in from the customer or that were just on the job record here, and then I can change the job status. So if I hit in transit here, it's going to date and time and then also GPS stamp me here as well. And then it also can start driving any of that customer communication that we might have set up. So since I'm hitting on site, maybe the customer is getting a text or an email saying that I'm on site. And apologies, this is going a little bit slowly from the internet here. Oops. Okay, so now we're on site at this job. It's also you'll see it turn green in a moment here on the back office view. So again, the back office is going to know now that I'm on site. The customer is going to know that I'm on site, and we can start our work. If there's equipment on the job, I can go ahead and view equipment. It'll show me any pieces of equipment, so it's one or multiple that are attached to this job. And then I can actually click in to view more details. So it'll show me the basic information about the equipment, any custom fields that I might have, any notes, and I can add new notes here as well. And then even any job history for this particular piece of equipment. So if I need to go back and look at the history and see what was done last on it, I can actually drill into this job and get all those details here. I can also remove any equipment or add it to the job from the field here as well. If I scroll down here, it's going to give me the customer information. So I can click to dial, click to email, click for driving directions straight from here. And it'll also show me the customer job history. So if I click in here, it'll show me all jobs that were completed for this customer. So if I need to go back through and find a specific one, I certainly can. If I click in to view details here, it'll give me all the basic information again, any customer information, the people or person that worked the job, any of the form fills that might have been attached to this job, and then the different line items and any notes, and even any signatures that are going to be on the job here. You'll see this document section, and this can be driven by a number of different things as well. So if we're doing a certain type of work, maybe we attach a certain training manual. In this example, I have a Capstone 65 generator on this job, so we're going to see that document automatically attached here. On the phone, you just swipe in, it'll open. On mine here, since it's an emulator, will open in a new window. So it's going to download and open that automatically. There's no limit on these, so you'll see this is like a 61-page manual. We can go ahead and attach those, and they can always reference it while they're working out in the field. The next tab here is going to be our Forms tab. So this is where we take anything that you're filling out in the field today or any information that you're going to need to collect. All of these are custom groupings and custom questions. We can require any of these be filled out prior to completing a job, but you'll see it can be things like checkboxes, drop-downs, date fields, numeric fields, open text boxes, things like that. The Work tab here is going to automatically generate based on the type of work that I'm doing. So since I picked a maintenance job, it's got these 3 line items that we know that we always do when we do a maintenance job, for example. So it'll automatically add these. I can always remove any or add additional if I need to. If you're a company that does piecework or does time and materials, maybe this whole section is blank and you have people add as they go. So we can accommodate that structure as well. As an example, if I select to add a material here, it'll ask me where I want to add it from. Since I have access to both of these, I'm going to pick my vehicle. Then I'm going to pick the item, and then I can add as many as I need to this job. So you'll see it'll go ahead and add that here. Up top here, we're going to have the camera. So this will let me open my camera in real time and take any photos that I need to attach to the job, and then also hit my image gallery that I might already have uploaded to my phone there. Notes field here is going to show me any notes from the back office, and then I can enter any notes here as well. And then if I hit the Sign tab here, where I can go ahead and get signatures. Again, we can turn these on or off or require one or both of them, depending on your process. It's just going to be just like UPS, where you use your finger and go ahead and sign here. We can add any additional notes, and then also send invoice. You'll see here. This will show any templates that I've already got set up. So as an example, I have an invoice and a work order template set up. and then an email too, so I can add to this list as well if necessary. This is going to be how someone would manually push out one of these. Most companies will elect to, upon job save and completing it, send it out. So it can be automatic, or we can choose to send it manually as well. So if I hit save here, it's going to ask if I want to go ahead and complete this job. If I hit not yet, it'll save my work and let me continue on working the job. If I hit complete, it's going to save all of my work, potentially send out any of those copies of work orders or invoices, let the back office know, and then it'll return me back to my list of jobs here. And I'll just go about working the rest of my day. So that's a quick recap on kind of the full workflow there and how it works for a technician. Again, keep in mind a lot of this can be customized depending on your industry and your specific process. But that's a high-level overview of our different capabilities. And without further ado, I think I'll turn it back to you, Jeff and Deneen, to finish up here.